Hello and welcome to this video on email. This video definitely has a lot of information in it, so you may want to watch this video a few times or possibly take notes or both. So you just want to make sure that if you're interested in using email that you pay attention here and try to grasp these concepts as best as you can. There will be a second video with a demonstration after this one. So what is email? Well, they're messages or mail sent through electronic means. And you can receive and also send on electronic devices like computers and smartphones. So email is a lot like regular mail. You can contact someone you know, maybe say hi, how are you doing? You can get ads or promotions. You do business stuff through email and etc. So one really important thing about email before we start is that you need to know the email format. So when someone gives you an email, or when you use an email, it's going to be in this format. Your username or their username at the domain.com. So what does the domain.com mean? Well, usually this is where they are hosting or where they have an email account. So for example, I have a Yahoo email account, which, by the way, this is my junk email account, so don't try to get a hold of me with this email. It won't work. So my username is pdfsmail, as you see right here, at yahoo.com. So pdfsmail is my username. At yahoo.com is the company that hosts my emails. It's where I have an account. So you also will see emails like support@website.com. If you have a problem with a website and you need help, a lot of times you can get it this way. It'll be support@website.com or something similar. So the important thing to remember here is whenever you send someone an email, you must send the entire email. You can't just put their email username. You have to put username at domain.com. So if they say their email is pdfsmail@yahoo.com and you want to send an email to that address, you must send it to pdfsmail@yahoo.com. Not just pdfsmail or not just yahoo.com. You have to include the whole thing. And it's very important to not get it confused with domains. It's not the same thing as www.udemy.com. or www.google.com or pdfsmail.com. They're not the same thing. Okay? So you can't send a email to pdfsmail.me and expect them to get an email. It won't work. You have to include the whole thing. I just wanted to make that very clear. I hope you understood that. So I'm going to move on. How do I get an email, you may be asking? Well, you need to create an email from an email provider. And here's a few free email providers. Gmail, which is Google, Yahoo, and Hotmail, which is Microsoft or MSN. When you visit the website, there will be a link that will say something along the lines of create an account. You'll want to find that and click it. And just follow the instructions. You'll create a username, you'll create a password, they'll ask for your name and your age. There is a requirement for your age because if you're under a certain age, there's specific laws and rules that apply to that. So I know a lot of people don't like giving out their birthday and stuff, but it's because there are laws that apply to how old someone is and what they can do. Now, how do I get back to my email? Well, the first thing you would do is open the website where you created the email account. So if you created a Gmail account, you go to gmail.com. If you created it on Yahoo, you go to yahoo.com. You would then click login, or you may already be on a login page. So some of them automatically bring you to a login page. Some of them you would actually have to click a link that says log in. Either way, you'll eventually end up at a page that looks like this, and you put your email and the password that you created for that account when you made the email account. And then you'll just click sign in. How do you use an email? Well, there's just a few basic rules. Since you don't have to actually physically send emails or physically do things, there's an inbox where your emails are at. There's junk mail, also known as spam. This is where your junk mail usually, but not always, goes. Sometimes it ends up in your inbox. And you can create folders to sort your mail. So all you do is you go to your inbox, you'll find a list of current emails, you click on the email to read it, and you can actually click a button to delete them as well. And you'll probably see this in a demonstration in the next video, so don't worry too much about it. How about receiving an email? Well, to receive an email, you must send the person or company your email address. So whoever you want to send you an email, you have to make sure they have your email address. Remember, it has to be the full email address. You can't just send part of it. Never send your email password to anyone, ever. If they ask for your password, do not give it to them for any reason. That means if they had your password, they could get into your email account. They will then send you an email and it will appear in your inbox. It's that simple. So they type in the email on their end and they can send you a message, and in a matter of seconds you have the message. So it's just about making sure they have your email. Now be aware though, a lot of websites will ask for your email address. Make sure you really want to receive information from a website before giving them your email address, because once you give them your email, they will probably send you emails, and it can quickly get out of control if you do it too much. So what about sending an email? Well, when you're in your email inbox, there should be a button that says something along the lines of compose or send mail. And the reason I'm kind of vague there is it really depends on what account you have. Like, is it a Gmail account? Did you get through Yahoo or Hotmail? Each one of them are their own systems and they're all a little bit different. So a box will come up and you'll enter the email address of the person or company you are sending to. Below that, you'll enter the subject of the email you are creating. And then you'll enter in the body, you'll enter the email or your message. Once you're finished, you can click complete to send the email. So it's just as simple as that. You'll get to see this in a demonstration as well. Now, just so you know, there are other sections for additional emails you're sending to. There's one called CC, which means carbon copy, which you usually put emails into when you're copying another person. This is popular for business. And there's also BCC, which is blank carbon copy. And that's another, usually in business, and it sends an email to whoever you put in the blank carbon copy section, but they won't see who else is copied on the email. So continuing, there's two more functions called reply and forward. So when you receive an email and you want to return a message back to that person or company, you can click reply. You'll be able to compose a message that will send an email back to the company or person you received the email from. So usually when you hit reply, it automatically fills out the email section, so you don't have to figure out what their email address is. And then you just put in the message you want to send them and hit send. And also for forward, it's not the same as reply. It's if you receive an email and want to send it to another person or company, basically a third party, you can forward it to their email. So say your friend sends you an email and you thought the email was very nice and you wanted to show your other friend how nice they were. You could forward that email address to your other friend. Now, on to some of the minuses here. Spam is basically unwanted or junk email. I'm sure you've heard of spam, and we're not talking about spam, the food. It's just like junk mail you receive in regular mail. So if you open your inbox and you know you see an email that is definitely spam, just do not open it and never reply to them, as once they receive an email from you, they'll start sending you more spam. So just kind of keep in mind, spam is just junk mail. Don't reply to it. Don't open them. They're just bad. Alrighty? So finally, email phishing, and this is something important to pay attention to, and we will go over this more in a later part of the course, is an email that looks like a legitimate email from a person or company that is trying to get sensitive information from you. They often use scare tactics such as your account will be deleted if you do not respond, or you will be charged a large sum of money if you do not reply, anything along those lines. So, if you receive any type of suspicious email, never reply to it, ever. In fact, it's best that if you're sure it's a phishing or you definitely know it didn't come from something legitimate, don't open it, do not click anything in it, just totally get rid of it, delete it. Do not visit the websites that they are telling you to go to or anything. So, it's just pretty much for your own safety. Well, that brings us to the end of the email video. I know it was quite long, and there was quite a bit of information in this video. However, remember you can rewatch this video, and you can take notes if for some reason you think you're not going to remember everything. I do suggest taking notes. So, alright, let's move on to the demonstration video.